Voters name one of his major accomplishments. Check this out.
Are there any accomplishments that come to mind that you can point to for Joe Biden?
No.
Anything?
No.
I don't know if I have an answer for that.
He served with very much distinction with Obama.
He's an honest and a decent man, and that to me speaks volumes.
Being vice president. I mean, he's been there a long time. He's got staying power.
I don't know of a specific accomplishment of his.
Oh, well, you just saw Cabot Phillips in that video. He is the media director for campusreform.org, and he joins us now with more. Welcome, Cabot.
Thanks for having me on.
You know, Joe Biden's been in politics for a really long time. Shouldn't it be a little concerning that with all that time that's passed, no one can name his accomplishments?
It absolutely should be concerning. Joe Biden is essentially that guy that's been in politics for 40 years, and he's now saying, I deserve a participation trophy. Make me president. That's my participation trophy. And I think this is really indicative of how many people in the Democrat Party, yes, they're supporting him. Yes, he's leading in the polls. But I think a lot of that support is because people feel, well, he's inevitable. He's been handpicked by the party. Of course, this is someone we need to support. Remember back in 2016, there was also a candidate that was handpicked by the establishment, and voters felt fronted. Voters felt like they never really had a choice, that they just had to go along with it. I think right now we're in that stage with Joe Biden where people are supporting him because there's that name recognition and because they feel like the party's going to inevitably pick him anyway, not because they are necessarily fired up about him or because they know his accomplishments.
Cabot, but it's deja vu. It's deja vu. I feel like I relive this all the time. You had Jeb Bush. Every time was, oh, he's the most electable. He's inevitable. It never works. Why don't they learn on either side?
I think the establishment of both sides really has this mindset of we know what's best for people. And Republicans, of course, got fed up with that. We'll have to see if Democrats do that this year. And it was also interesting how throughout his career, Joe Biden has constantly been touting his connection with Obama. He's been saying, especially for the last decade, of course, saying, well, right. President Obama, that's my guy. That's my accomplishment. Watch the debate. President Obama is no longer popular with the Democrat Party because the party has moved so far to the left that now it's almost an attack on someone to say, well, you stood along with President Obama in his 8 years. So I think out the window goes that entire accomplishment that Joe Biden was touting. And I think that's going to hurt him on the campaign trail, seeing how far the party shifted.
Quickly, Kevin, did the voters you spoke to give Biden credit for the Obamacare, for the major accomplishments of the Obama administration?
Absolutely not. There were people that said, well, I like what he did. You know, as vice president, he was a nice man. There were no actually accomplishments. I think one person all day said his work in Obamacare was instrumental. And I've been on over 100 campuses with the Leadership Institute's campus reform. It's the exact same thing with young people. There's this enthusiasm gap where he's the first name a lot of people bring up, but they're not excited. And I think that as we get into the primaries and as we get into more states where Biden he is going to have to capitalize and get to the point where he can point to something and say, this is why you should vote for me. He hasn't done it yet, and I think he runs the risk of falling behind as people learn about other candidates.
All right, Cabot Phillips, we'll see you on the campaign trail.
Thanks, Cabot.
Appreciate it.
He is just 13 years old, but he says this device can save kids' lives